Good day or good evening, whatever time it is at the time you're watching this video. I am feeling the vibes of the Fae and of the earth and the earth dwellers. And so I'm going to go ahead and start this one off and tap into that kind of energy with my Forest Spirit Oracle deck and see what messages these beings are trying to bring forth for the collective. Right off the bat, as I'm shuffling the cards, my eyes are being brought to some various things around my room here that I have, that I'm recording in. And everything my eye keeps being pulled towards is skeletal in nature. I've got a little cat statue over there. That is, it looks like, maybe I'll insert a picture so you can get a better feel for what I'm talking about, but it looks like the Dia de los Muertos, but it's a cat statue. And then my eyeballs went up to my skull that I have on one of my tables, and it's got a beautiful blue rose pattern on the side of the skull. And then my eye moved over to the bird skeleton, fake, but that's over on another one of my tables in the room that I'm sitting in currently. And so there might be something to do with death or transformation that comes from death, especially because my eyes are being brought back to the floral patterns that are on some of the statues that I spoke of, and how beautiful life can come through the transformative energy of death, like the death in the tarot. Very interesting to start out at the gate with. Let's go ahead and see what the cards say. We have divine nature. Your love and wisdom help you overcome your limitations and reach a higher level with the nature spirits. It's definitely what I'm feeling right now. And we have skunk. Distinction. Flaunt what makes you unique so that you can stand out and leave a lasting impression. And then we have the beautiful buffalo spirit. Wealth, power. Maintain kindness, accumulate wealth, and persevere when faced with difficulties. And I'm hearing here with this divine nature spirit card that it is the divine nature within everything to succumb to success. It's the natural order. It's the natural occurrence. And the way this process can be sped up, if you will, is by maintaining what this buffalo spirit card is talking about. Maintaining the kindness and the perseverance when you're facing a proverbial death, so to speak, going through dark times. Staying in tune with those high vibrational thoughts is how you can speed up the process that occurs within nature and the nature of success, is what I'm hearing. And almost always for me, when the skunk spirit shows up, it also speaks of protection. And just with how they protect themselves with their own quote-unquote unique smell, very distinct smell. This is often how spirit brings through the message of you are divinely protected. And what I'm feeling with this card in particular is the fact that the more you attune to your uniqueness and the more you express it in a way that you are no longer restricted by fear, the more protection comes forth for you. And you are definitely leaving a big impression on everyone that is within your energetic field. The song Buffalo Soldier is coming to mind as I'm looking over at this card as well. And that song that Bob Marley wrote, it expresses his love and his support of the African Americans who had enlisted in the army after the Civil War, even though they were facing prejudice at the time. And while this can be a bit of a sensitive subject, this isn't here to cause any kind of scrutiny or uproar. But this is something that also the skunk head reminded me of. It took me back to that time era. And the differences between the skin colors really being a huge thing. And while, yes, we all have a lot more to go in those regards, those of you who are here in this collective at this time surely understand the fact that we are all of the earth. And when we pass, our flesh and our bone go back into the earth just the same. So it's that vibe of someone who is really fighting the good fight here, like the Buffalo Soldiers. And no matter how hard it is, no matter what difficulties you face, you're able to use your own uniqueness and your own love and your own wisdom to stand out from the persecution and to be a guiding light, just as this little skunk critter here is surrounded by all of these orbs of light. And I'm also hearing that you could be a mixed race as well, and showing the unification between the different colors within your own skin. And I just picked up the deck and looked on the bottom, and we have Jaguar Spirit here. It says, glean wisdom from the past and fearlessly follow the path that resonates with your soul. And that's exactly what you are doing here. Taking the wisdom and the knowledge from the past and bringing it into a future context so that it can be used and utilized in your own unique way that helps you make the choices necessary in order to follow your true soul path. The Jaguar here represents strength, courage, and resilience, and transformative energy, transforming the despairs of the past into future abundance, to bring yourself up to higher timelines so that those that follow in your footsteps can do the same. Spirit is saying that the sorrows of the past dwell beneath the soil of the earth, and the only way to reach a healing of these sorrows is to dance harmoniously amongst the dirt so that it can rise again. And I'm being given the visual of this in my mind's eye, and I'm seeing that dusty dirt beneath the feet rising up in swirls, and it's almost like it's transforming into an opaque smoke, and almost as if it is transforming and morphing into beings. And this quite possibly could be ancestral energy, but it's definitely speaking of that transformation. And I thought that was quite interesting how that just came out. Transformation. Formation, like the soldiers. But it's the rising up and the bringing new life to that old, dead, and decaying energy, with more renewal and more life than it ever had before. And my eye was brought up to one of my many signs that I put up on my wall. It says, energy in different states is the core of all existence. So that dancing on that dusty dirt and rising it up, raising it up, giving it new life, and changing the energy at its core. Energy does not deplete. It only transforms, is what I'm hearing. Trust your destiny and break the chains of doubt. Nothing is lost that can't be found, is what I just heard. Sorry if the camera jumped. I had to get up and go grab a deck of cards. And as I moved, not so swiftly, I ended up bumping my tarot on the way over to grab the other deck. And there was 3 cards that fell out. Right on the table, right here, actually. And the first one is the 6 of Cups. The second one, the Chariot. And the third one is the 4 of Wands. The healing that is being made here by you living out your soul's desires, and within the family units, the ancestral lines, it's becoming your chariot to your successes in life. And this is something that is going to bring you to this wealth power. It's going to sustain your life, but also the next generations as well. And with staying so grounded and rooted in these nostalgic things that you resonate with, and not flaunting it in a way where you're shoving it in people's faces, but not afraid to show it off at the same time, is really making a lasting impression here. And it's what is igniting the fire under this chariot. You have the willpower and the determination to continue the legacy, is what I'm hearing. And it is in the divine nature, when you stay within that energy, that victory will come to you. And not only you, but those who will come after as well. I went ahead and grabbed my Earth Alchemy oracles to see if there was anything else that wanted to peek through here for you before I knocked these 3 beautiful cards over. But that's how it happens sometimes. Okay. And I'm hearing, before I even look at these ones, there was a few that came out. I'm hearing that there is a very unlikely mixture within your bloodline. And maybe unlikely is not a great terminology to use for this, but it's something that you wouldn't expect. But that's what makes you so unique, is what I'm hearing. You even have a very unique look about you. It's beautiful. And you express yourself outwardly accordingly. But definitely not in any kind of chauvinistic, showboat kind of way. It's very elegant. What is that? Hi guys, Sarai here in post. I wanted to pause the video and share with you why I decided to leave that clip within the video, the one that you just heard. I do believe that I had captured a disembodied voice. You can hear it just before I say, "What is that?" I do not have any recollection of that moment within recording the video as well. It actually quite surprised me when I came up on it in editing. I felt that was way too interesting not to share here. I also want to add that at the time of recording this video, my house was completely still and quiet. My daughter was asleep very peacefully, and so were the animals. So there was nobody moving about in order to make such sounds. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you, and let's get back to the message. Go ahead and take a look at these cards that came out for you as well. We have Septarian Nodules with Way Shower, Shake Up the System, and Cellular Upgrades. And I heard that's exactly what you came here to do this time around. To not only help heal the generations of sorrow and pain that has bled into the dirt of the earth, but also to shake up the very system that put it there, is what I heard. And by doing this, just like I was speaking of before, with the family and with being that way shower for the ones that will come after you as well. Not only this financial abundance that you're going to leave as a legacy, but showing the way altogether for the future generations. And I'm also noticing, it's kind of hard to see, it's too far away, but there's that earth element there. You are very grounded and rooted in the earth with this energy as well. And not only do you help the people around you, but you also help the planet itself. You help heal that decay that is just rotting in the soil, so to speak. Sorry to sound a little vulgar about it, but that's just the way Spirit is showing it to me. You're bringing that energy back down to the earth through that earth star chakra of yours and really rooting it in there, because in order to heal what is above the earth must be healed below the earth as well. These nodules are also referred to as the dragon stones or the dragon eggs. So you might also resonate with that kind of energy as well. And within the book, right after I said that, my eye was pulled towards a paragraph here, and I'll read that one paragraph to you. It says, "An earthquake stirs the earth, parts the soil, and sends electric pulses out through the grids. This is the energy that Septaria brings to you. It stirs your energy and clears pathways with electromagnetic pulses that can be moved and felt through all energetic pathways in your body. If you are wishing for a change and find yourself stuck in the mud, it will bring the movement that is needed to propel you forward." So this stone might just be calling out to you if you don't already work with it. The next one that came out is Mama Cacao and Rhodonite. It says heart opening, heightened sensitivity, unifying, high on love. And that's exactly what you're bringing to the table on this evening, this message with these earth spirits here. And that is a water and an earth energy. And this might be underhandedly hinting to that when I hit on that rare mixture, because the cacao originates from the Amazons and first being introduced to the mainstream people in Ecuador. But putting my own nerdiness aside for a second, what this card speaks of is the opening of that heart chakra. that portal that's there within your heart space. And it speaks of how cacao can help tune you into the emotional layers of your aura so that you can better express your feelings and to release love and joy. And I really feel as if that is something that you are well versed in doing. It's very reminiscent, once again, of what this little skunk creature was talking about, and how you have a way of sharing your uniqueness and sharing your feelings, sharing your vibes, without being too overbearing, but also leaving a lasting impression as well. Very much like the taste of cacao on the tongue. And rhodonite here is also connected to that heart space, to the heart chakra. And it brings emotional scarring and wounds from the past to a healed state, which I think is amazing, because that's exactly what we've been talking about this entire time. How the scars of the past are being healed within this work that you're doing here. And just like within the veins of that stone, it's talking about the meridians on the body. And I love the fact that this septarian nodules stone within the book was talking about how earthquakes happen and how there's electromagnetic energy that shoots up through the core, and how that coincides with the meridians of the body as well. And this, I feel, is very much so reiterating the fact that while you are bringing this kind of healing to humanity, you are also firmly planting it into the grounds beneath you as well. And lastly, we have blue kyanite and honeysuckle, the sword of truth. It says, freedom, warrior of light, stop holding yourself back. And that is water and air. So these elements may be very significant to you as well. We have earth out here twice, we have water out here twice, and then we have air. But that's beautiful that this sword of truth has come out once again. I paused here because my machine that is hooked up to my work computer just went off, and the machine is used to deposit checks, and it just randomly turned on, like cashing checks. So that's more reiteration of that wealth power here that you are pulling in for yourself and for your future generations. But anyways, as I was saying, I think that it's amazing that this sword of truth is coming out for a second time within this short period of time that I started picking back up recording after being sick as well. That sword energy is ringing through. And I love it when Spirit does that. Because you definitely are that warrior. That Buffalo Soldier song that I was hearing as I looked at this card here. A warrior bringing the light with your sword of truth. And living and acting in this true freedom that the ancestors before you were not so lucky to have. And that's the terminology that Spirit brought to me in those regards. I believe that luck really has nothing to do with anything. What it all boils down to is the blood, sweat, and tears that go into these generations of turmoil that has to be turned into something more of a higher value, if that makes sense. And that is exactly what you are fighting for, my friend. And the fact that this so kindly asks you to stop holding yourself back. You're being reminded to stay within this energy here. of if you got it, flaunt it. And unapologetically as well. Don't be afraid to stand out, and don't be afraid to leave those lasting impressions. Because the lasting impressions is what causes the change to occur. And again, with the different colors here that are so strikingly different from one another on the skunk, I'm hearing that healing is being brought to everybody within the picture, not just one side or the other. And with this blue kyanite and honeysuckle, I find that very synchronistic within my own recent past, because my daughter and I were on a hike, and I had realized that I hadn't really taught her about the plants that we may come across as we are walking through nature. And we came across a honeysuckle plant, and I showed her how the honeysuckle works, and I had her taste it, and she was just blown away. She thought that it was like, she called it flower candy, and I thought that was so cute, and I felt compelled to share that here. But I'm being guided to read the very first paragraph here that talks about blue kyanite. It says, blue kyanite is a regal stone coming through with a powerful voice. It asks, are you ready to embrace your truth? Not anyone else's truth, yours. Step out of the bubble of worrying what others are doing and offering in their service, because it does not impact what you do. Your voice and truth are as unique as theirs. This is about you, but not in an egotistical way. This is about pure focus on your heart, having the courage to listen to your own inner voice and your own story. And I can't express to you the emotions I felt as I read that to you just now, because I feel like that is just the icing on the cake here for this reading. Truly embracing what is uniquely yours. And there's also that throat chakra energy there too. Kyanite is great for clearing and realigning that throat chakra, the energies within it. And that is something that is definitely beneficial to have and to utilize when you are uniquely expressing yourself. And it even says within the book under the honeysuckle, being bold and brave does not mean you have to be hard and forthright. And that's exactly the energy that you bring into the table. There is a certain gentleness and a certain softness about you that is very refreshing. And I'm being called to go on and read more. It says life can be difficult and we need to take a moment to stop and appreciate its sweetness. It's exactly what this buffalo spirit was talking about. Persevering when faced with difficulties. Stopping to taste that sweetness along the way. Now I understand why I shared that little story about how I had stopped my daughter along the way and had her taste the sweetness and educate her about the beautiful plant life that surrounds us. It says, honeysuckle comes with a reminder for you to be present in the moment, acknowledge your senses more, touch, smell, and taste. It says it can help with opening clairsentience, which is clear feeling. And the two of these combined, it says kyanite is a strong way shower, there's that word again, of new pathways open to you, clearing the way for opportunities. But you cannot move forward wholly without tending to the garden of your heart and your soul to make sure the sweetness and innocence of your soul is ready to move with you. And I think that is beautiful. And the fact that that word showed up within the text on the third card that was completely blatant here on the first card, that way shower. And that's exactly what you are here to do. That's your mission. That's what you are bound and you are determined for. And tasting that sweetness of the victory. So I think I'm going to go ahead and end this one here. I thank you so much for sharing your beautiful energy with the collective, with me, and with Spirit. And I thank the divine nature spirits as well for bringing this message to the forefront. Much appreciation to everyone, including those of you who allowed the space for this message to occur, to come out, and to be shared with the collective as well. Everyone is truly appreciated here on Mind and Spirit's channel. Until next time, I love you. Bye.